the phenomenon of compound interest, and how to take advantage of it for your benefit. Have you ever wondered why some millionaires have so much money and seem to work so little for it? Sometimes, do you feel concerned about not having enough money to provide the best education for your children or for your retirement? If you want to get out of the rat race, stop working 9 to 5 and become financially independent by the age of 40, our video today will help you a lot. I will reveal a formula and secret strategy that the rich have been using and passing down through many, many years. The curious thing is that most people aren't even aware of it, but it's quite simple. To understand this strategy that the wealthy use, let me tell you an old story about a king and one of his subjects. There was a powerful king who ruled over a vast territory. His kingdom was so extensive that it was said to stretch as far as the eye could see and took months for men on horseback to travel from one end to the other. His wealth and fortune seemed limitless. And this king enjoyed playing games. And after having played every kind of game available at that time, he challenged his subjects to invent a game that would impress him. After a few weeks, a man presented himself at the king's palace and asked to show a newly invented game. This game was called chess and was based on strategy. The king was so impressed with the new game that he told the man to ask for his reward. The man thought for a moment and then replied, "Oh, Emperor, my wishes are simple. I only wish for this. If you place a single grain of rice on the first square of the chessboard and double it for each subsequent square, I shall be well rewarded." The king hesitated at first, as he wanted to give the man a much larger reward for his invention, perhaps in the form of gold, but finally agreed to what the man was asking. By the king's order, his treasurer began calculating the amount of rice that should be given to the inventor. The treasurer placed 1 grain of rice on the first square, 2 on the second, 4 on the third, and so on. By the time it reached the 10th square, he had to place 512 grains of rice. By the 20th square, the number had risen to 525 grains of rice. By the middle of the chessboard, the number had already reached around 2.15 billion. When the treasurer reached the last square of the chessboard, he realized that the king owed about 9.2 trillion grains of rice to the inventor. The figure was so enormous that, to honor his word, the king had to relinquish his throne and hand it over to this wise man. This story explains the power of compound interest, sometimes called the 8th wonder of the world. Never underestimate the power of compound interest. The wealthy are very aware of the magic of compound interest, which is why you'll rarely see them spending their valuable hours working the 9 to 5. Instead, they let their money work for them, harnessing the power of compound interest. If you haven't yet discovered how the wealthy make their money work for them, let me explain how simple it is. They make investments that accumulate over longer periods. To make the example clearer, let's suppose this person is named Jack, who is currently 25 years old and has saved $1,000. In real life, we know that he can achieve an annual return between 8% and 14% on his investments. The MSCI World Index has an average annual return of 8.7%. So let's assume he invests his savings of $1,000 through this index. Here's how the investment of $1,000 would look over time. When Jack turns 65 and is retired, his $1,000 will have turned into $21,725. That's a considerable amount, considering Jack made just a single $1,000 investment, representing over a 2,000% return, meaning his investment increased 20 times. Some of you might be thinking now that $21,000 is a good return, and you're right. Don't get me wrong. While it's a good sum of money to have at 65, that money won't last very long and will quickly dwindle. It might allow for a couple of luxurious vacations, but by no means would it allow for quitting the 9 to 5 job. So the question is, how can Jack use the magic of compound interest to become a millionaire? Now, consider the example of Jill. She graduated from a prestigious business school and learned about the power of compound interest and how to leverage it to achieve her goals and dreams. After graduating, she lands a job that pays $4,000 per month. She ensures to save $1,000 per month and invests it in the same mutual fund as Jack, yielding an annual return of 8.7%. She's 22 years old and plans to make regular monthly investments until retirement at 65. She strongly believes she will become a millionaire. Let's see how her investment fares over time, assuming an annual return of 8.7%. If she faithfully follows her investment strategy, contributing $1,000 into an index fund, she will become a millionaire at the age of 47. Yes, you heard that correctly. Just by investing $1,000 a month, she will reach millionaire status in 25 years since the start of investments. And if she continues, investing another $1,000 for another 18 years before reaching 65, she will have accumulated about $4.7 million more. Therefore, by 65, Jill's investments will be worth an astronomical amount, which is more than enough to enjoy a happy retirement. So if you're under 25, you have one of the greatest advantages when it comes to harnessing the true potential of compound interest, which is time. Time will be your best ally in the pursuit of financial freedom, not just for you, but also for your future generations. Someone needs to take the first step, and your future generations will respect you for being the one who did. Start saving regularly while you're young. This will give your investment portfolio the necessary time to truly mature. Let me provide another example of 3 investors who start investing at different stages of their lives, each saving the same amount of money over a period of 10 years. We have Michael, who started saving $1,000 per month from 25 to 35 years old. At 35, he completely stopped making investments and let his savings accumulate at a 7% return rate until he turned 65. Then there's Jennifer, who began saving at 35. She saved the same amount of $1,000 per month until 45, and then let the balance in her account accumulate at a 7% return rate until she turned 65. Lastly, Sam never decided to invest until 45. He began investing $1,000 per month until he turned 55, after which he also left the balance to accumulate at an annual rate of 7% until he turned 65. During the 10-year period, all 3 managed to save the same amount of $120,000 and achieved the same 7% return rate. However, the total value of their investments was significantly different. When they reached 65, Michael had accumulated an impressive $1,444,969, while Jennifer managed to gather a net worth of $734,539. Sam, on the other hand, lagged far behind with a balance of only $373,000. So, what lessons do we learn from Michael's strategy? Thanks to the power of compound interest, time is the most crucial variable that a young investor has in their favor. Start investing early, contributing a small portion of your savings into your savings account or the investment vehicles you've chosen. Keep doing this consistently for at least 10 years, and you'll notice that after that time, you might not even need to save at 35. While all your other friends struggle to make it through the month, you'll be well established, enjoying an attractive return on your portfolio. At this point, you might be wondering if the mechanism of this effective technique is so simple. If it's so simple, why isn't everyone a millionaire? The answer is also simple. Many start with it, and within a few years, they spend the money or interrupt compound interest by withdrawing capital from the investment. Thus, they lose the snowball effect. Remember, this is exponential. By reinvesting more and more each year, the interest generated by your investment becomes greater and greater. That's why we mentioned in the video that the time factor is crucial in making this technique so effective. This video is of high value, and very few channels address it correctly, and we're offering it here for free to you. If you'd like to give back in some way, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel to not miss new important videos like this. Thank you for watching so far, and we'll see you in the next video.